If the flood explains how humanity was nearly erased, creation explains why it mattered in the first place. In ancient Sumerian texts, humanity is not created in a garden of innocence. Humans are created to work. The Anunnaki are described as powerful beings who grow tired of laboring the land themselves. In texts like the Atrahasis epic, they fashion humans from clay mixed with divine essence, not as children to be worshipped, but as helpers to maintain the world. This is not Eden. This is Edin, a place of cultivation, labor, and purpose. And once again, two brothers stand on opposite sides of humanity. Enlil, god of authority and command, believes humans must be controlled. Order matters more than growth. Obedience matters more than understanding. Enki, god of wisdom and creation, believes humans should learn. He gives them tools, language, skills, knowledge. This conflict is not subtle, it is foundational. In later biblical tradition, humanity begins in Eden, a garden without labor, without pain, without knowledge of good and evil, until knowledge enters the story, and with it, blame. In the Sumerian version, knowledge is not evil. It is dangerous because it makes humans less dependent. When Enki shares understanding with humanity, he is accused of deception. In later traditions, that accusation hardens into an image. The serpent, not originally a symbol of evil, but of wisdom, renewal, and forbidden knowledge across the ancient world. This raises an uncomfortable parallel. What if the fall was not about disobedience, but about awakening? And what if the warning was not about protection, but about control? The Anunnaki themselves were not supreme. They had a father. In Sumerian cosmology, the Anunnaki descend from earlier, higher powers. Authority flows downward. Power is inherited, not absolute. This matters because it means the Anunnaki were not God. They were rulers within a hierarchy. Later religious traditions compress this structure. Many become one. Authority simplifies. Complexity becomes doctrine. But echoes remain. Angels, watchers, sons of God, beings who descend, beings who intervene, beings who are punished for sharing knowledge. Some ancient texts speak of a wandering celestial body associated with the god's origin, later called Nibiru. To be clear, Nibiru is not established science. It is part of ancient cosmology and later interpretation. But its role in myth is important. It represents return, judgment, cycles, the gods coming back, not heaven, but visitation. This idea of descending beings did not disappear. It evolved. By the time of early Christianity, groups later labeled Gnostics believed Jesus was not sent to die as a blood sacrifice, but to awaken humanity, to remind people of divine knowledge trapped within flesh, to free them from ignorance imposed by lesser rulers. In Gnostic belief, the creator god of the material world is not the highest god. He is a lower authority, obsessed with control, law, and obedience. In this framework, Jesus does not come to appease God. He comes to reveal truth. Not salvation through death, but liberation through understanding. These beliefs were declared heretical. The texts were buried. The narrative was narrowed. Once again, knowledge became dangerous. Once again, obedience replaced questioning. And once again, a story about awakening became a story about punishment. This does not mean one tradition is right and another is wrong. It means stories change depending on who holds power. The Sumerian texts, the flood myths, the garden, the serpent, the watchers, the forbidden knowledge, the divine hierarchy. These are not coincidences. They are layers. Humanity retelling the same questions in different languages across time. Where did we come from? Why are we here? And why does knowledge always seem to come with consequences? The Before the Bible series is not about replacing belief. It's about restoring context. Because when you see how old these ideas are, the stories don't lose meaning. They gain depth. What if the struggle at the heart of humanity's oldest stories was never about good versus evil, but about authority versus awakening? And what if the voices we were warned not to trust were simply the ones who believed we were capable of more?